Golden Bay is the northwest corner of the South Island. It's a small community of 5,000 people, but we're renowned for our amazing national parks, beaches, and it's a very popular holiday destination. And that, in fact, is one of the reasons why our housing crisis is much worse than many other places in New Zealand.
We're at a crisis point. I know that there are a lot of people finding it very difficult to find a home for themselves and their family, and that is across the board of all ages and stages of life.
There are a lot of people in need. There are a lot. I could reel off 5 people I know just off the top of my head who are looking for a home right now. One of them is a mother with 3 children.
Golden Bay has a lot of holiday homes, and it is a place that attracts a wide variety of people who have the means to come here and actually spend quite a lot of money buying or building a house. So we have this situation of people with a lot of resources and people with no resources. So the end result of that is that we don't have enough houses for people who need them.
It is harder and harder to find places to stay, especially if it is longer term. So initially when I first was looking for a place to stay, in a period of a year I moved 8 times.
So over the years, I'd say 18 years, we were in the rental game with 4 children, and we would have moved 18 times.
I was very naive, very, very naive, because it was reasonably easy to find accommodation in Hamilton and in Napier where we lived before. And I thought it would be a piece of cake doing the same thing here because we had references and we had, jobs lined up. And so, but no, it wasn't a piece of cake at all. It was a selection process with rigorous interviews and competition.
Very, very difficult, particularly now with the new regulations around rentals to come up to a certain standard. It just makes it so unaffordable for a landlord to do that to an old house, and a lot of the stock in the housing stock in Golden Bay is really old. So there just aren't the properties available, and it's getting worse. Where are people going to live? If they can't live in the houses that exist, and that is happening. People have got empty houses now, not just holiday homes. People have got empty houses on farms.
I guess one of the shortfalls we have is when we're employing staff is an inability to house them. For our staff, tenting has been an option for quite a few over the years, and it's just not healthy. It's not good for the staff. They get run down. It's not good for us because we don't get a good product. It's not healthy whatsoever. I know that last year, we had a proper season. The season was a bit light on guides, but last year we had 9 employees. Okay, and to house those is next to impossible. We might be able to get housing for 1 or 2, and unless we actively pursue that for the staff, they just don't even bother looking at Golden Bay as an option because it's just too hard for them.
In the last 12 months, we've seen the house price for Takaka, as in the township, where most of the people working and living here would usually try and buy, has gone up from 500 to 600.
Where I live at Tata Beach, it's a ghost town. For almost 11 months of the year, no one lives there. Or on Cornwall Places, which is the street that I live on, there's 3 full-time residents. And then, over December, January, we have an influx of holiday makers that are renting and also, homeowners that have bought there. It's poor form. There's no community spirit, there's no community, and people who live in Golden Bay, who work at the supermarket in Solly's or whoever, are never going to be able to attract enough money to be able to buy into those places, and that's not right.
There's just a desperate need, and I know it's a global situation, but I think New Zealand we've got this growing population, and there's just not enough homes for the growth of the population. So it's a simple equation, really. Well, it's a pretty exciting prospect.
I think it's very revolutionary.
It will be a game changer.
The starting point for our project was how to house people who can only afford to pay $250 to $300 per week for rent, or $300 to $350 per week for rent to own. This is possible if you separate the house from the land. Our basic house is a 60 square meter, 2-bedroom home, which we are on track to build for about $150,000. These will meet the needs of some 70% of the people seeking accommodation, and we'll build larger homes for the rest. We're not building tiny houses, but quality, small houses, which are fully compliant with the building code and the healthy home standards. Our accessible houses will meet the needs of the disabled. Thanks to our partners Panasonic, all houses will be equipped with high-quality appliances. For land, our solution is to ask people to host a home, either as a permanent secondary dwelling or with a 35-year lease. We have over 30 locations already to build on. Some are hosting for free, whereas others will be paid land rent. We're also looking to buy a large area of land ourselves where we can build multiple houses. We've consciously chosen to build the houses on site rather than bring them in from factories elsewhere in New Zealand or overseas. This benefits local tradespeople and our vendors. The building supplies will come from ITM Takaka, the windows from Nelson, house panels from Christchurch, blinds from Wellington. This supports our local and New Zealand economy, creating employment and job opportunities. We estimate that about 1 person of employment in Golden Bay will come from each 3 houses we build. We've designed our solution to be replicated elsewhere in New Zealand and have already provided our designs to several other interested parties. Currently, we have over 100 families seeking affordable accommodation here in Golden Bay, workers, pensioners, beneficiaries. There is no plan by the government or anyone else to build houses, hence our project is the only option these people have to find accommodation and for many to stay in Golden Bay.
I think this project is, it is priceless to this community.
I think what you guys are doing, looks amazing, and I think it's much needed, and I think it's overdue.